What's up? What's good? What's happening? It is your sports barista, Rod the Magnificent, back with another episode, and I'm so happy to be back talking about sports with you guys. But before I get into my show, just want to give you guys some reminders right here on the left, or to your left or right, whatever the case, however you're watching this thing. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you can get notified every time I drop a new video. And now, enough of me rambling. Let's get to these 4 topics that I have in store for you for this particular episode. And we're going to start off with none other than my Chicago Bears. And what a win for the Chicago Bears, coming back from, I think, 10 points down or to go on and beat the Giants. And boy, I was scared throughout this whole game. I knew that the Bears were kind of going to play down to their competition. I felt like this Giants game, it just had trap game written all over it. I was more worried about this game than I was the Saints game. A lot of people were worried about the Bears playing down to the Saints, but I was actually more worried about this Giants game because Jackson Dart can play some football, ladies and gentlemen. And even if he doesn't have his star running back behind him in Scatterboo, the man can still hold his own. And as you can see, look at what this man did, Jackson Dart did in this game. 19 for 29 in pass attempts. That's a 65% completion rate. Now, he didn't have any throwing touchdowns, but he had a 91.5 quarterback rating, and he rushed for 2 touchdowns, rushed for 66 yards. Man, Jackson Dart is that dude. And I don't say that a lot about rookies that's come into the season. I like to kind of let them marinate, see how they adjust when other teams get a chance to really digest him and see what his weaknesses are. But and it's going to get exposed. It's like that with all quarterbacks. It's about adjusting, right? But the one thing that I do see in Jackson Dart is heart. I see a lot of heart. I see a lot of will. He reminds me a lot of Jim McMahon, with a little mix of Jim Harbaugh. He's actually got the characteristics of a Bears quarterback from back in the day. Like, just a guy that can just make a big play when you need him to. And Harbaugh was that for the Bears, and also Jim McMahon was that for the Bears. They're not going to blow you away with a bunch of stats, but they're the type of player that you can hand them the ball and get you out of a rut. And, he gets his nose dirty. Now, the one thing that I do need to advise Jackson Dart is, and even the team, I think a lot of that had to do with Brian Daboll's firing after this game, is the overuse of him when it comes to running the football, and the fact that he takes a lot of punishment when he gets tackled. And that's one of the things that scares me about Jackson Dart. He's got his first concussion of his career here in New York with the Giants, so I'm a little worried about that going into it, but I think he'll shake out of it. I don't know how long he'll be out, but I must say, I want to take this time out to say, the Giants, to Giants fans out there, you guys got something at quarterback. I think you figured out your quarterback position. I think Jackson Dart's the future. Now, Jameis Winston, by the way, Jameis Winston, breaking news, is going to be starting in the next game after the firing of Brian Daboll, which makes sense. I think he's more capable than Russell Wilson at this point, who's going to get a award later on in the show. But yeah, big shout out to Jackson Dart. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about Jackson Dart. I want to talk about my quarterback. I want to talk about my franchise quarterback for the Chicago Bears, and that is Caleb Williams. And boy, oh boy, the haters, I do not see them. I haven't seen them drop any videos. It's amazing how haters are quiet when someone that they hate on plays well. They never drop the good videos. They only want to come out of the cave when Caleb plays bad. They never want to acknowledge the fact that this man is improving, and that, yes, he is a wrecking ball, right? And what I mean by a wrecking ball is he just swings all over the place freely. He's not the type of quarterback that is this systematic, stay in the pocket and throw. He's shown he could be that, but he's a combination of both. He has a lot of hero ball in him. And that's one of the things that he just has to learn, is to know when to play hero ball. And this was an excellent game. This was an example of someone who figured it out. Okay, things aren't going well in this game. I had somebody text me talking about see, Caleb's not playing good again. I said, no, you're not watching the game, bro. You are not watching the game, because what I saw was a lot of drop passes. What I saw was a lot of Caleb Williams getting out of danger, hitting guys on their hands, and they're dropping passes left and right. Olamide Zaccheaus had 4 targets, and he dropped 3 of them, and had 1 reception for 5 yards. Luther Burton had 3 receptions, 3 attempts, 51 yards. Luther Burton, ladies and gentlemen, is a game breaker. He is the future combination to this wide receiving core. Yeah, I know a lot of people love DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore is solid, but I just don't think, he's the future. Luther Burton and Rome Odunze are the future 1-2 punch at wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. This guy knows how to play some football. And one of the things that I appreciated about Burton, he had a big catch down the stretch that led to this touchdown, this exact game-winning touchdown. What a photo right here that was taken by the photographer on this game-winning touchdown by Caleb. Very impressive drive. And it was Caleb saying, you know what? I'm tired of all of these drop passes. Luther Burton got me close enough so that I can go ahead and score the game winner. And Zaccheaus was open on this exact play, ladies and gentlemen. He was open. But he had to say, you know what? I got to block for Caleb, because Caleb is coming here to save the day. And that's what he did. He got the game ball. He finally got the game ball from Ben Johnson. And speaking of Ben Johnson, I didn't think he called a great game. I thought some of the play calling was very conservative, surprisingly, in some pockets from Ben Johnson. Now, I know the winds were really bad in Chicago that day. It snowed earlier in the morning, and then it kind of stuck around during the game. But I thought some of the play calling by Ben Johnson was questionable. But despite that, Caleb Williams, he said, listen, I am not about to lose to these Giants, okay? I am not about to be responsible for this loss. And I'm sick and tired, which is the next topic when I talk about with Caleb, is the hate. Still, even when he wins, it's like, what do you want him to do? Do you want him to win? Do you want him to lose? When he wins, you say, oh, the competition wasn't that good. But when he loses, you call him a bust. Which one can it be? He can't help the teams that are on the schedule that's lined up. He has to play them, and he has to beat them. And when he beats them, you got to give him credit for that. They're 6-3 for multitude of reasons. Not just Caleb. I'll sit here and tell you that. It's not just because of Caleb that the Chicago Bears are sitting at 6-3. There were times where the defense bailed them out. There were times where Ben Johnson just outcoached the other coach. There were times that they won collectively. But this game right here, where it was strictly Caleb Williams putting on the Superman cape and taking this Chicago team by his shoulders when the defense didn't play that well. And what I heard after the Baltimore game was, oh, see, we need this offense to click when the defense isn't clicking. Well, for the first 3 quarters, it didn't. But for the last quarter, it did. And Caleb dug them out of a hole. We can't help that Jackson Dart got hurt. I understand people, if Jackson Dart would have got hurt, well, he fumbled the football. That led to one of the points. So how we know Jackson Dart would have kept that up throughout the game? I don't agree with that point either. That if Jackson Dart would have stayed in the game, the Bears would have lost. No, Jackson Dart gave up a fumble to the Bears. He gave up a fumble. Well, I've watched Giants games. I watched them cough up 33 points to the Denver Broncos in the fourth quarter, and nobody was sitting there taking the credit away from Bo Nix. No one was taking credit away from Bo Nix. Oh, they're terrible. The Giants are terrible. This and that. No one took credit away from Bo Nix. But when it comes to Caleb, when he wins, he's not doing enough. When he loses, he's a bum. I've never seen anything like it with any quarterback that I've witnessed in Chicago or period, as far as just wanting someone to fail so badly. I don't get it. And then when it comes to JJ McCarthy, right? Oh, everybody, franchise quarterback. I think he beat the Lions. What did he do this week against the same Baltimore team that you guys scolded Caleb for? And don't tell me Baltimore wasn't at full strength. They were. Their defense was. All those Humphreys was still in the game. Hampton, one of the best safeties in the NFL, is still in the game. One of the best linebackers is still in the game. And Roquan Smith. So I don't want to hear it. That defense was recovering. They recovered completely by the time the Bears got to them. If they would have played them maybe a couple of weeks earlier, I think the Bears would have made easy work of the Baltimore Ravens with Cooper Rush as their quarterback. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. So I'm done ranting about that. Let's go to our next subject. Shout out to my Chicago Bears again for pulling off the win. Let's talk about these Packers, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about these Packers. What happened? What happened, Packers fans? Another dud at home at Lambeau Field. Another dud at home at Lambeau Field. What happened? I thought after the blockbuster trade by the Green Bay Packers, the trade heard around the world for Micah Parsons, I thought this team was Super Bowl bound. I thought that with Aaron Rodgers winning a Super Bowl at the age of 27, I thought Brett Favre winning a Super Bowl at the age of 27, Bart Starr winning a Super Bowl at the age of 27. This is the year. Why? Because Jordan Love is at the age of 27. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Love is not any of those quarterbacks. Jordan Love's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He's a good quarterback. But since he's been at the helm for the Green Bay Packers, he has been above average. He has been he's been in a hall of really good. But he hasn't shown me greatness yet. And that's what I saw in Aaron Rodgers when he was the quarterback at Green Bay. That's what I saw in Brett Favre when he was the quarterback in Green Bay. I was not old enough for Bart Starr, so don't even come in my comment section talking about some Bart Starr history. I don't know how he was. I can't comment on that. But one thing I can comment on is what I'm seeing with Jordan Love. And what I'm seeing with Jordan Love is a guy who is just an okay quarterback. Why are Green Bay Packers fans, read the room? Why are you guys pointing the finger at this man? Why are you guys pointing the finger at Matt LaFleur? Oh, he was under the shadows of a great quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. What has Aaron Rodgers done since he left Green Bay? I'll wait. What has he done? What has he done? His time with the Jets was forgettable. And he got off to an okay start with the Steelers. And now they look really bad. The Steelers look really bad. And all I hear is Fire Mike Tomlin. What are y'all gonna fire Mike Tomlin for when you got a quarterback who's he's in dialysis at this point? And then so don't come at me with this whole Matt LaFleur was being covered up by all the greatness that Aaron Rodgers was choking up playoff games because he didn't want to listen to Matt LaFleur. I know, I'm in the NFC North. I watched a lot of Packers games as a Bears fan. And I saw the lack of chemistry between Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur. So I don't want to hear all of this. He was being shielded by the greatness of Aaron Rodgers. No, he wasn't. Matt LaFleur comes from a great football family tree. And he's implementing that into this offense with Green Bay. And he's the reason why Jordan Love is being looked at as the future for Green Bay. But the problem is, Jordan Love is not taking that next step. Can you rely on him in a game-winning drive? I haven't seen it yet. I saw it here and there, but in these big games where they're playing real competition, Jordan Love, he freezes towards the end. I just don't see the clutch gene with Jordan Love. I just don't. Let me look up Jordan Love's numbers in that game against the Eagles, right? I'm going to pull it up. Jordan Love was 20 for 36, 55% completion, sacked 3 times, had a quarterback rating of 68. Let's go to the Carolina game. Let's go to the Carolina game. Jordan Love, ladies and gentlemen, 26 for 37, a 70 completion rate, no touchdown passes, 1 interception, sacked 1 time, 80.1 quarterback rating. That's not good enough. But y'all want to blame Matt LaFleur because a player from the Eagles knew their play call. Knew that they were going to run the football. And now it's Matt LaFleur's fault. Guys, Green Bay Packers fans, I got news for you. You guys are 5-3-1. Come holler at me when y'all 2-7 or something one season and things are just really falling apart for Green Bay. Y'all can bounce back from this. But as a Bears fan, here's my request. Go ahead and fire him. One less team for us to have to worry about. Now all we have to worry about is the Lions. Go and fire him. Do your thing. Do it. Go and fire him. Because, listen, honestly, when it comes to Matt LaFleur, he can coach some football, man. He can coach some football. So, y'all can sit there and be mad at him over one game all you want. But at the end of the day, Matt LaFleur is a good coach. And you guys will be making a huge mistake if y'all fire him this quickly. And y'all be doing us a huge favor as Bears fans to fire him that quickly as well. Up next, we got Nico Harrison. Nico Harrison has finally been fired from the Dallas Mavericks. And we need to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. The firing heard around the NBA world. Nico Harrison is finally gone. And the owner, Patrick Dumont, if I'm saying that right, wrote an open letter to the fans about the firing of Nico Harrison. And it's pretty wild, man. I mean, here we got a guy who sat there during a loss to the Milwaukee Bucks, if I'm not mistaken, in a game where they did not sell out for the first time in a long time. This guy's sitting here, this young boy sitting here with a Luka Doncic Lakers uniform, sitting next to the owner of the Mavericks, who has to sit there and look at a kid that's wearing a jersey of a player that you drafted, a player that took you guys to the NBA Finals, and traded him. And again, it says Harrison was fired Tuesday as of this recording after a 3-8 start. Dumont and Miriam Edelson became the majority owners of the team back in 2023 after former owner Mark Cuban sold the majority share. Dumont began the letter by acknowledging the Mavericks' success in 2024 season, advancing all the way to the NBA Finals before falling short to the Boston Celtics. That run sparked high expectations for the franchise. The Mavericks' playoff success did not carry over to the following season, however, as they failed to make the playoffs after qualifying for the play-in tournament. After last year's disappointment, a slow start to this season, and a passionate and vocal fan base holding the team accountable, Dumont felt it was time for a change. When the results don't meet expectations, it's my responsibility to act. I've made the decision to part ways with general manager Nico Harrison. Mavericks fans turned up the heat on Harrison on Monday evening as Dallas hosted the Milwaukee Bucks, with "Fire Nico" chants ringing out through the crowd. One person Dumont did not address in the letter was former Maverick Luka Doncic. Last February, the trade happened, and so that's what we have here. Ever since the trade, Anthony Davis averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Didn't play that many games. He showed up to camp out of shape. And here we have Luka Doncic currently averaging 37.1 points a game, 9.4 rebounds, and 9 assists a game. And so here we have it. The trade that was heard around the world last year on a late Saturday evening, a trade that I called. I was very, and I'm still suspicious of that trade to this day. Still don't know how Nico Harrison got fleeced, but he was so willing to give up a guy who took this team. And I know Luka's had drinking problems and problems with his weight, but that's still not a good reason to trade a guy that is in the beginning of his prime to a Lakers organization that pride themselves off star power. And you guys just handed the Lakers another great player. And it's funny, the difference between the Lakers and Celtics. The Celtics build within, right? They build great teams within. The Lakers, they pretty much rob other organizations of their superstars and then create championship teams. So and the list goes on and on. They're continuing to do it here with Luka Doncic, and I'm just sitting here like, hey, all I could do is hunch my shoulders at this point. Nico deserved it, and I understand there are people that that feel that it's unfair what happened to Nico Harrison, but in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think that he opened the door for that to happen. He opened the door for fire and brimstone, and you can't sit there and throw rocks and throw stones and hide your hands. That's what Nico Harrison threw stones and hid his hands, and the fans threw stones back. And shout out to Nico Harrison for still coming to the games and showing his face. It took a lot of courage for him to do that in front of a very volatile fan base that's going after him. But golly, I mean, Nico, I don't see this man having another job in the NBA after this one. I just don't see it happening. So, Nico, hey, hope you saved a lot of money, man. You're gonna just be chilling out at the crib, just watching everything transpire. And so that's it. That's all I got for this topic. Last but not least, we have Coffee and Break Sports Awards to give out. And this is something I've been doing for the show, is just giving out awards to those who I feel deserve them. Some good, some bad. Well, mostly bad.
They coming to see me.
They coming to see the Temptations.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
And my Essence of Otis award goes to all the Caleb haters. That's where my Essence of Otis award go to. I'm not gonna over expound on why I am giving out this award. You all heard earlier in the show my rant, and I think Caleb Williams haters, y'all need to come on out. Y'all need to come on out, eat some humble pie, and get his man some credit at least. I'm not saying you got to be Caleb fans. No one's saying that. Just get a man credit when he actually has a good game. And stop trying to find, well, what if and what that's because, just get a man credit. My next award is none other than the Cuddy Award. And if you want to know what the Cuddy Award is awarded to the person or team or player or organization that got knocked down a flight of stairs. And that award definitely will go to none other than Nico Harrison. I mean, it's definitely going to be Nico Harrison, Mavericks fans, for knocking him down a flight of stairs. I mean, think about it. Like, with this fan right here, going up to having the courage to go up to the owner and tell him what the real is. You got to give the Mavericks fans credit for making this happen and punching Nico Harrison down the stairs for pulling off the absolute worst trade in NBA history.
You play yourself. That's what you did. You played your doggone self.
My You Played Yourself award goes to Nico Harrison for pulling off that trade. You played yourself with that one, and hey, you're not going to be able to live that one down. All right, you won't be able to live that one down. Up next is my Milk Carton Award.
Tell me that doesn't look like him. I was just through here. I'm like, that guy's missing. That's not him, right?
That does look like him.
And that one goes to this guy right here. And I talked about it in full extent earlier in the show. Jordan Love, where you been? I named off all your stats. We need the real Jordan Love to please stand up. It has nothing to do with coaching. It has more to do with this guy's play. He has to play better in order for the Green Bay Packers to succeed. Yes, Matt LaFleur needs to coach better. I get that. But Matt LaFleur is not the end all be all. All right? It definitely also belongs to Jordan Love.
What about Flip? What happened to Flip?
It's a Shame award goes to Lenny Wilkens, the late great Lenny Wilkens, who died at the age of 88. And he was one of my favorite coaches growing up in the 90s. He coached the Atlanta Hawks. He also won a championship with the Supersonics back in 1979. And as a player, I think he did. I don't know. I correct. Oh, he coached. He wasn't the player. He was a coach. I'm getting him and Dennis Johnson mixed up. Dennis Johnson was the actual point guard of that team. Lenny Wilkens led the Supersonics to their first and only championship until the OKC Thunder won it last year, and that those organizations still relate. So, but shout out to Lenny Wilkens, great coach and an excellent person as well. And then another It's a Shame award a bonus one will go to Russell Wilson. Boy, he is washed. Russ, just go ahead, come on to Sierra, man. Sierra's calling you. You hear that phone ringing? Sierra's calling you. Just come on home. Come on home to your girl. Come on home to your wife. Those wonderful kids, and just ride out the rest. Ride out into the sunset. All right, Russ. It's a shame what happened to you, man. I wish nothing but the best for you. And that will do it for this edition of Coffee Break Sports. I am your sports barista, Rod the Magnificent. please do yourself a favor. Again, do all the things you need to do if you really enjoy this content. Like, share, subscribe. And again, I will see you guys on the next episode. Sometimes I go live, sometimes I don't. This one, I decided to pre-record this time, but the next show I'll try to go live. Next week, I won't be doing a show because I'm going to be on vacation. But the week after that, I'll be back behind the mic. So until then, I will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.